Hey, what's up? Welcome to Tech Talk with Steve Brown. Today's episode, I'm going to be answering several questions, and these are questions that I get quite a bit when I'm doing websites for people. A lot of folks will say want to start a website, and of course, the question is, how do I go about doing it? How do I reserve the name, let's say, that I want to get, for my website? If you want to have, GRE Entertainment or CentralFlorist.com, how do I go about doing that? And then after that, what do you do after you reserve the name that you want? Well, I'm going to answer all those questions today. For the most part, it's three things you're going to need when you want to start a website. One is you're going to have to check and see if the name is available. And you would do that through GoDaddy, and we'll do a quick walkthrough on that. Second thing you're going to need is a place for your website to live, and that's called web hosting. Okay, and you'll hear that term quite a bit. Some companies will say, "Hey, web hosting for this price," or web hosting for that price. We offer this amount of space for X amount of dollars. That's the second thing you're going to need. Third thing you're going to need to know is how to point your domain name and point it to your web hosting, and that's done through what is called the name servers. Your name servers are basically how people go about finding your website through TCP/IP and all that stuff. That's stuff you don't have to worry about. But I'm gonna walk through I'm gonna show you how to go ahead and get your name servers pointed to your domain name, and you essentially be good to go. So once you get all three of those, we're gonna walk through them real quick, and once you see it, it's really cool to know, hey, okay, my website is reserved, and now people can actually start finding my content. And this is something I'm going to actually be doing because I'm working on a new website right now. So you kind of watch me do the whole process, and it's pretty cool. So let's just go ahead and jump right in it. All right, you can see my screen here. First thing, like I said, and this is something that a lot of people, you may be familiar with this, you may not be. This is GoDaddy, and GoDaddy handles all the registrars. They work with Whois, and they basically control, what websites get their actual name. So what's going to happen is you're going to go to GoDaddy.com, www.godaddy.com, and you're gonna, let's say, you want to try a name. You want to say, hey, I want to do, GRE Entertainment.com. Now, of course, you have .com, .co, .info, .net, .org, .me. And there's all different types. They've got a lot more that have just come out. And I'll be talking about that on my blog. Talking about the new types of domains that you can get. But right now, let's just say you want to check for the availability of a name. So you click on that. Okay. So now, of course, this is just for reference purposes. But let's say click on Go. And let's say GoDaddy say, hey, nobody else has that name. It's available. Good to go. Awesome. So now I want to go ahead. I want to reserve that name. So what you're going to do is you're going to call GoDaddy and say, hey, GoDaddy, all right, I've got, GRE Entertainment, or I've got, I got CentralFlorist.com or widgetbabies.com or whatever name that you want. You basically call them up and say, hey, okay, hey, I want to reserve that name. And what you would do is you would go to this number right here, 480-505-8877. Let me just highlight that real quick. But you just call that number and say, hey, GoDaddy, I want to reserve that name. Cool. They're going to say, okay, Mr. X, we reserved that name for you. You're all set. Now, this is the second question. And this is where a lot of people ask me, and they're like, okay, now what do I do? Great question. What happens is, now, as I mentioned before, you're going to have to set up a place for your website to live, and that's called your web hosting. Web hosting is basically, imagine it as like your apartment now. You've gotten everything you need. Now you need to move in. Okay, so what happens is you're going to call that same number, or this is GoDaddy, of course, but there are other companies that provide, let's say, more hosting space. A good amount of hosting space would be, let's say, they'll give you, 3 gigs of hosting space for X amount of dollars. And of course, you can call around and find out where you would like to, where you would want your website to live at. Now, as I mentioned, there are two separate things. There's your domain name through GoDaddy, but you have the option to contact anybody that you like to provide your web hosting or provide your place for your website to live. Okay, so, and this is something that happens for me quite a bit, because a lot of times I reserve my names through GoDaddy, but I have hosting with another company. HostGator is real cool too. Definitely recommend them. So now you've got your name, the name that you want. Now you need to set up your hosting. You can either call GoDaddy, the 480-505 number, 8877, or you can contact another company. Now, what will happen is if you're using another company, regardless of what, you're going to need that third step, which is pointing your domain name to your name servers and vice versa, so that now your website and your domain name can actually talk. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk you through how to go ahead and do that. So we're just going to log into my account right now with GoDaddy, and we're going to just point a couple of my domains to my web hosting. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on in it. Now, of course, I'm gonna blank out my my password here, but now let's just go ahead and log into GoDaddy and go point. That's going to take a second. Now, what's going to happen is, first thing that's going to happen, you're going to want to select domains. Okay. Now, these are a lot of my domains and various projects and things I'm working on for other people, companies, and things like that. What's going to happen is you're going to log in and you're going to find your domain. Now, chances are, if you're just doing this for the first time, you only have one domain in here. But I have several. So, and all you're going to do, this is the GoDaddy user interface. Now, of course, whatever hosting account that you're dealing, whatever hosting companies you're dealing with, it's going to be a little different. But a lot of these techniques are still the same. So really, let's just say Tech Talk with Steve Brown. Let's just point that to my hosting account. Here's the domain, the name itself, right here. Now, excuse me, this is the domain itself. Now let's just go ahead and point this to the hosting account. This is not an active. This is a base. Essentially, I've reserved the name. Now let's point it to an active account, active hosting account. Just click on launch. It's going to launch here. Now, this screen is going to come up. What this screen does is this is your control panel for your hosting. Now, what you're going to want to do is once you've clicked on the domain name, you're just going to click on set name servers, and this is the little icon right here for it. You click on set name servers. Now, this window is going to pop up. Now, right now, it's pointing to NS07 domaincontrol.com. That's actually GoDaddy's hosting, but I want to send this over to HostGator where my hosting account is. So we're going to change this real quick. So now I'm probably going to blank this out, but what's going to happen is and you're going to get this information from your hosting company, what your name servers are, or the precise way, the specific way where to point your website, basically. Let's do that. And then once you've set up your NS1, mine is ns1.blank.net and ns2.blank.net. I'm not going to give you the name right now, but it automatically capitalizes it. And what's going to happen is you're just going to click OK. Now, sometimes what's going to happen is sometimes your changes can take up to 2 hours, or they can take up to 24 hours, just depending on the propagation of the server. Okay, so in just that short amount of time, so what's going to happen is basically the final output of all of this is going to be my website is now reserved, my hosting account is now set up, and now the name that I want, GRE Entertainment, is pointed to an active server that other people can find, or other people can find you. Okay, next episode what I'm going to be covering is how to set up your blog, or how to actually start getting your WordPress or whatever type of mechanism, whatever type of tool that you want to power your website. We want to get that loaded up on the website into your name servers and all that, so that now your website, you can start adding your content in there. And so stay tuned for that. Steve Brown, Tech Talk. Go ahead, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, if you have any questions about anything, just send me an email and or connect with me on Facebook. All right, thanks a lot.